piled on $4 trillion of deficit from tax cuts. So this is money that we don't have. We're borrowing from China to give to the people. Now, as homeowners yourself, I'm pretty sure you know that spending on credit card is a bad habit. Spending the money that we do not have is a bad habit in which George Bush has taken on.
I think I'm sorry I have to interrupt here. We're gonna have to move on. What are your thoughts about the role that the vice presidential candidates play themselves?
Well, this particular election, the role of vice president for the Republican Party is slightly different for the role of vice president in the Democratic Party. John McCain is in his 70s, and he had, skin cancer in the past, twice. So, I just hate to say this, but the chance of
what has that got to do with him?
Well, the chance of him passing away is a lot higher than Barack
But a lot of people
Obama
have been cured from
away.
cancer. Just want to make sure that's the point. What's Dan's point of view on that?
Well, I just don't think that that's credible. I actually had dinner or an opportunity to have dinner with John McCain's mom, who's 96 years old, and during the Sarah Palin debate, she was jumping up and down. So I think there's absolute longevity in their family. So I don't think that particular is a credible issue. So obviously, my position is that Sarah Palin is more qualified than her opposition in Joe Biden.
Give me three main specific reasons as to why Governor Palin would be.
She knows how to balance a budget.
Okay.
I ask you, when was the last time that even Senator Obama or even Joe Biden has balanced their personal checkbooks? I would probably have to say your job is not to balance budgets. Okay, your job is to provide legislation, is to create laws to help American citizens. But the role of a governor, and this is by no mistake that the last several presidents in our country have been governors. There's no mistake about that. Okay, governors have to actually balance budgets. They have to manage workforce, labor. These are very, 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 very critical things, that enhances leadership and that proves leadership. Okay. So I would say, in summary, to John McCain.
What about you, Dan? 10 seconds on this particular point.
Okay. If you look at the U.S. Constitution, Congress are responsible for budgets. So, Senate and the House are the ones who control the power of purse.
Right.
So by saying that Congress does not balance budget, that is absolutely not true. Number two, George Bush Sr. and Ronald Reagan were all governors, and they did pretty bad in terms of their economic policy, in terms of piling up.
We can also go down that road. We can also, and a person in the investment industry, we obviously certainly have our opinions on what drives the economy. And when you look at the current fiscal problems or the current problems in our economy, I think it's pretty good assessment that you can probably point it to an act that Jimmy Carter administration enforced, the Community Reinvestment Act. I don't know if you've heard of that. Okay, but it's really in the Clinton administration where he took it, really kind of reshaped it a little bit, where we have now the introduction of subprime. And I can go into further details with you what subprime actually means, but I would like to comment that before Obama, the question here really needs to be, who is Barack Obama? Okay, and I think for many, many Americans, the question exists, but there's really absolutely no drive to find out, because Americans are exhausted. They're absolutely exhausted with the past eight years. Okay, I don't disagree with you with that. Okay, Obama he's articulate. He is an orator second to none. He has shaped, or he plans to shape America in his view and vision. And I think that we as Americans have to ask, who is Barack Obama? How can he, as a senator, U.S. senator, spend 143 days, and of those 143 days, vote over 100 times present and not make a decision to be the next leader of our country?
Dan?
Well, Song is obviously coming to the point in which Barack Obama doesn't have experience. However, experience are separate from judgment. Now, when George Bush came to power, there were no people in his administration with more experience than Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld. However, these two very experienced people who were Secretary of Defense in the Ford administration and in the senior Bush administration tell us that Iraq has weapon of mass destruction, They tell us that
Well,
war
you're
will
speaking
pay for
about a
themselves.
character now, but we still focus on the two candidates, Senator John McCain.
Yes.
So how would you reply
I
to
am
this?
countering the point that experience
Mhm.
are equal to judgment because
Okay.
experience are not.
The number one job, okay, so let's set aside all the rhetoric, let's set aside all the policies, okay? What is the number one job for the President of the United States? What is his number one responsibility? And that is to protect my family, me, you, and American citizens.
Okay.
That we'll be safe. John McCain is the man to do it.
So thank you all very much for being here. So
All
I
right,
will
so-
hope to see you next time after the November's election. All right. Thank you
Okay.
all.
Well,
Thank you
thank
for the
you, Dave.
opportunity, Dave,
Thank
and
you.
VATV.